Hello everyone, so is Productions is back again with a new video, and today we are going to discuss question and answers of class 6 history chapter 5. Before beginning to discuss the question answers, I will just give you a quick recap, a summary of the particular chapter. So the chapter is Kingdoms, King and an Early Republic. So how some men became rulers. So what happened is around 3000 years ago, there were men who were recognized to be as Raja because they used to perform very huge sacrifices. And then they got recognition because of performing these big and huge sacrifices. And among those sacrifices was the Ashwamedh or horse sacrifice. And it was kind of a ritual that was very important for a Raja to perform. So the Raja who organized the sacrifice, who and that Raja was considered to be very powerful, and all those who accepted his authority, they used to come and visit and pay their visit to the Rajas and also bring gifts. So let's talk about Varna. So during this period of time, community were known according to their work. Like there were Brahmins who used to perform these rituals. There were Rajas. Okay, and then during this time, what happened is the priests they divided the people into four groups, and these were called as the Varna. And according to them, each Varna had a different set of functions, and they said that these groups they are dividing on the basis of their birth. For example, they divided the four varnas. First is the Brahmin, second is the Kshatriyas, third is the Vish or the Vaishyas, fourth were the Shudras. Okay, so Brahmins were those who were expected to study and also to teach Vedas and perform sacrifices and also to receive gifts. Okay. Then came the Kshatriyas. Kshatriyas were basically the rulers. They were expected to fight battles and protect people. Then the Vaishyas. Vaishyas were basically farmers, herders, and traders. And these Kshatriyas and Vaishyas, they could also perform the sacrifice. Okay. Then lastly comes the Shudras. These were the people who used to serve the other three groups. And they were not allowed to perform any kind of rituals. And often women were also grouped along with the Shudras. And these people were also not allowed to study the Vedic. Okay. I hope the differentiation is clear. Moving ahead. Let's talk about Jan. So the Rajas who used to perform these big sacrifices, they were recognized as being Rajas of Janpas. Okay, they have their own Janpas in which they used to rule. So the word Janpad literally means the land where the Jana set its foot and they got settled in. Because we know over the period of time people started settling down in one place. Okay, and archaeologists have also found that in Janpas, people lived in huts, they had their own cattle and other animals. They also grew a variety of crops, okay? And they used to make earthen pots so that they can store their whatever growth they use, grains they used to grow, okay? So a special type of pottery was also found at these sites and they were known as painted grains, okay? All right, moving on. Let's talk about Mahajan. So gradually over the period of time, some Janpas they became more important than the others, and they were came to be known as Mahajan. And most of the Mahajanpas they had their own capital cities, and these Mahajanpas they were usually fortified, uh, which means they had huge walls of wood, brick, or stone were built around them. And these Rajas who used to rule the Mahajanpas, they used to collect the taxes as well. And the taxes were collected because they needed resources, okay, for building these huge forts and also maintaining armies. So they started collecting these regular taxes. And from whom they were collecting these taxes? They were collecting these taxes from farmers, craftspersons, herders, traders, hunters, as per their own skill. Okay, moving ahead. So what was the changes in agriculture that took place over the period of time? So gradually, the use of iron plowshare grew over the period of time, and these iron plowshare they helped more in the grain production. People also began to transplant the paddy. That means instead of scattering the seeds on the ground from which plants would sprout, they would rather grow the sapling, okay, and then plant it in the field. And this actually led to the production and as many more plants can survive. Okay, now let's look at Magad. Magad was a very important Mahajanpad in about 200 years, and many of the rivers like Ganga and the Son they flow through Magad, and that is why Magad became a very essential or very strategically very important place because it helped in transportation, it helped in water supplies, and also making the land fertile. Okay. And during this time, two powerful rulers of Magad were Bimbisar and and the other was Ajat. Okay. So the very first capital of Magad was firstly Rajgiri and Bihar, but later on it got shifted and the second capital city became the Patli, the present day Patli. All right, moving on. Let's look at another city, Mahajanpad, that is Vaji. So Vaji had its capital city, that is Vaishali, that is presently in Bihar, and it was under a different form of government known as Gan or Sangha. We have already discussed about the difference between Gan and Sangha in the previous videos. If you haven't watched it, go watch the entire video. I have already discussed the entire chapter. This is just a quick summary and recap that I'm doing over here. If you want to have a look at the entire chapter, you can go and watch the entire video from my channel. Okay, and don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, please give a thumbs up. Moving on. In a Gan or a Sangha, there were many rulers, and all of the rulers were known as Rajas, irrespective considering the Magadh, where only there was one Raj. And here, the Rajas, they used to perform rituals together. And they also used to held assemblies so that they can discuss important matters. Okay. And women, dasas, and kamakaras, they they, however, cannot participate in the assembly. Okay. Both Buddha and Mahavira, they belong to the Dhan or something. I hope you can recall from the previous chapters. Mahavir belonged to the Lichavi Ghana. Okay. And then lastly, the last of the Samras were conquered by Gupta rulers around 1500 years ago. So there is actually a difference between the Mahajanpad Magad and Vachi. You have to find out how there is a differentiation between these two. This has already been discussed in the previous videos. You can go and have a look at it. Okay, all right, moving on. So let's come to the question and answer. So the very first question is all about we have to state whether these are true or false statements. So the first statement is Rajas who led the Ashwamedh horse pass through their lands were invited to the sacrifice. Yes, because because they finally accepted their autonomy and they used to come and pay visit and also bring gifts for the Raja. Okay. Second is the charioteer sprinkled sacred water on them. They used to attend it but not spread or sprinkle water on the king. Third is archaeologists have found palaces in the settlements of the Janpads. In the Mahajanpads, you can find the palaces in huge fortifications and houses, but not in the Janpads. Okay, false. Pots to store grain were made out of painted grain. No, false. Many cities in the Mahajanpads were fortified. Yes, true. Moving on. Fill in the chart given below with the terms hunter-gatherers, farmers, traders, craftspersons, herders. So these were the people who, who are the people who used to pay taxes? So hunter-gatherers used to pay taxes, farmers, traders, craftspersons, herders. These people used to pay the tax. Okay, moving on. Who were the group who could not participate in the assemblies of the Ghan? So women, as we have already just in summary we have read, women, dasas, kamakaras were the people who were not eh, allowed to participate. Then the next question is, why did the Rajas of Mahajanpat build forts? So that they can protect their people from outside. Also, sometimes these fortified walls were built to show how rich and how powerful they are. Okay. And also, when there is a fortification, more and more people can be easily controlled. Okay. By the That is why these fortifications used to be moving. In what ways are present day elections different from the ways in which rulers were chosen in general? So today, in today's time, leaders are basically chosen through votes. We give votes, and we have a country, and as a citizen, we give votes to our rulers, and whoever has the more votes becomes our ruler, okay, or leader. However, in Janpas, the ruler they used to perform sacrifices like Ashwat, and the other rulers, if they accept the horse running in their dominion, then they used to accept them as a Raj. Okay, so that was the way that people used to select their or choose their leader. So that is it about this particular chapter. Thank you so much. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and please share and do not forget to subscribe.